So last night Boris Johnson did put out his roadmap to how to get out of lockdown, which is pretty cool. It's good to be thinking about how to get out of lockdown, and obviously it'd be cool that school would be opening first, and then colleges, and then nightclubs right at the end, and you get to normal. But I was trying to find something very, very specific, and I couldn't find it until just now. And apparently the one thing I need to be open, pretty crucially, won't be open until April, which is like another month, which I guess I'll have to wait because I ain't got no choice. But still, literally, it's a haircut. Because I mean, look at all that. Do you know what I mean? And also you can see it's getting pretty hot, so I need to get rid of it. And I don't trust anybody in my household to cut my hair, so I've just got to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? It's at the moment it's tameable, but it's getting to a point where it's getting a bit out of hand. Okay, so for today's video, I was thinking, over the past couple of weeks, we were doing quite a lot of, I want to say, passive editing and very passive photo manipulation. Like the background stuff, like it all looks really cool and stuff, but it's all very, that's what it is. It's all in the background. So I thought today, why don't we do some active photo manipulation? And well, basically what I mean by that is, why don't we actually edit the photo and have it really obvious what we're doing with the photo, and have something that really stands out in the picture and make it the main focus of the picture. Now I have the idea of what we want to do for this video, so let's jump straight into Photoshop and start with the edit. Now once you've watched this video, you'll understand what the edit will be and how to do it. But a good little tip to do beforehand, before you even get into Photoshop, is when you're taking your pictures, try and think about your end result and what you want as the end result, because that'll help you quite a lot in trying to make it really realistic. But I'll show you what I mean. Now as you can see, I'm doing a pretty weird hand movement, but it'll all make sense in a second. What you can also see is that there is a pretty dominant light hitting my right hand, which will help with the edit later on. So what I'm going to do first is, we're going to go down and add a new layer, and then go all the way to the pen tool. Next, as you can see, we're just going to make some pretty wavy, curvy, zigzaggy lines. And it's pretty easy to do. All you've got to do is click once on the pen tool somewhere, and then on your next click, hold it down and just drag the mouse, and it should automatically make a curve. Now to get the desired result and maybe the look that you're going for, it might take a couple different attempts, but you'll get there in the end. Next, you want to right click and then go down to stroke path, and then just accept that. And then as you can see, there will be a white path that follows your pen line. What I should also point out is, before you do this step, make sure your brush tool is set to your desired thickness, because that is what this stroke path will use when creating this white line. Next, I'm just going to double click on the layer and then select outer glow. And then what you should see is a glow surrounding your path. If you do want to change the color, click on the color selection and then just pick your desired color. I'm just going for a bit more of a lighter blue. Once you're happy with your color, okay all of that, and then go down and add an adjustment layer. And then just make sure it's selected, pick the black brush, and then just go over all the areas of your subject. For me, it's going to be my hand. Go over all those areas that you feel the line will go behind it. Now I do feel like the glow is a little too intense, so I'm just going to double click on the layer again and just change some of the settings, just so I can see a bit more of my hand behind it. Now this could take a while depending on the subject you're taking a picture of and how complicated your line path was, but if you do take your time with it, it should look pretty good in the end. Once you feel like you've finished and you're happy with what you've done, just right click and then press delete path, and that is this technique done. Now I think that was a really simple and a really cool little effect that we just added to a pretty simple and normal picture. I mean, obviously you do have to sort out some lighting beforehand and when you're taking the original unedited picture, because obviously you want that light to be hitting you where the line will be going. And again, like I was saying in the beginning of this video, you really want to think about your end result for your picture. So what I did, I can see I did add a light to the hand and even a little bit just on this part of the face, because I knew I wanted the light stream to go around this hand. So you have to think about that beforehand, but once you've done that, you can set it up and then you get this kind of result. Now what I might do is I might do something to the other hand, because that's just there like this. So we'll do something to the other hand and it'll be pretty similar. As you can see, I'm literally doing the exact same thing I did with the first path. I'm just making some waves, some curves, some zigzags, anything really that I feel would look good for this design. Again, right click, stroke path, add a glow to it, and then just get rid of all the areas you feel will be behind your subject. Again, this is my left hand this time. And I feel like with this, you do immediately see how good the edit is as soon as you removed at least one or two of the areas that need to be removed. Now I want this one to be a little more out of focus than it already is, so I'm going to go up to filter, blur, then Gaussian blur. Now I'm just going to find a level which I feel looks good, looks realistic, and it gives it a nice blur. And now you know how to add this really cool, pretty simple but very effective, and I mean it's a really cool effect. You can do this to any of your pictures, but there is something that we did go over, I think it was last video. It's a cool little effect which it'll just add that little bit of that extra level of realism to it. Let's go in and do it. So we're going to go over and add a gradient, select that, and then pick the gradient selection at the top. Now when you're picking your colors, you want to try and make them pretty similar to the actual glow that you've got, just because that will be the light that the glow will be emitting. So once you've picked that, drag onto your image and then go over to your layer style and pick hue. As you can see, it looks pretty good, and obviously there is some areas that don't need to be so blue, so we're just going to add the adjustment layer to it and take away the areas which don't need to be highlighted in blue. As you can see, I'm just on the side of my face and I've left it on my hands because again, this is where the light should be emitting. And there we go, that is the edit done. And you know what, I think it looks pretty cool. What I might do is I might redo that second hand, just because that loop over the finger looks a bit funny to me personally. So yeah, what I might do actually is I'll just re-edit that second hand because it does look a bit funny. But yeah, what I'll do is now I'll show you the edit for this picture now. Now this is a really cool effect and there's such a variety of different ways you can use it. Here you can see it's being used for product photography and I think that looks amazing. Here is another product photograph, but this time I've varied the line widths. I've had one that's really thick that's coming and framing the image, and the thinner one looks really sleek and smooth, and it really does complement this image by going around the finger, around the lighter, and even having that little swirl where the flame would be on this lighter. And there we have it. That is actually a really cool simple effect that we just did in, I mean, depending how complicated you want it, it could take you maybe 5 minutes, it could take 10. If you want to go really complicated with it, it might take like 15-20 minutes, but chances are your end product will look amazing. So again, just think about how you could use this. I think you can use it anywhere, maybe product photography, maybe portrait, I don't know. But thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.